An army officer stood in the kitchen with his wife, holding her close before yet another long deployment. "Sweetheart," he said softly, "I'm going to be gone for another year." "Oh, I'll miss you so much," she sighed. "I'll miss you too," he replied, his eyes dropping to her breasts with a wicked grin. "And these beautiful tits of yours." She blushed, but smirked. "Well, maybe you should enjoy them now, to make up for the year you'll be away." His grin widened. "Oh, hell yes. I'll give each one a squeeze for every month I'm gone." He reached out and began, firmly cupping and squeezing. May, squeeze. June, squeeze. July, squeeze, he went on, naming every month and giving her breasts a playful, deliberate grope with each one. Halfway through the list, he froze, because standing right there was their 10-year-old son, Michael. His wife's hands flew up to cover herself. "Oh my God, Michael, when did you get here?" Michael tilted his head, thinking, mid-September? A man lay weak and pale on his deathbed, his wife Martha sitting faithfully at his side. "Martha," he whispered, "I'll be gone soon, but there's something I've got to know. In our 50 years together, have you ever cheated on me?" Martha hesitated, then sighed. "Henry, I have to be honest. Yes, 3 times, but each time, I swear it was for a good reason." Henry's heart sank, but he managed to nod. I never suspected. What do you mean by good reasons?" She folded her hands. "The first time was just after we got married. We were about to lose our little house because we couldn't pay the mortgage. Remember that evening I went to see the banker? The very next day, he told you the loan would be extended." Henry thought back and sighed. "Yes, I remember. You saved our home. I can forgive you for that. But what about the second time?" Martha nodded. "Do you remember when you were so sick and we couldn't afford the heart surgery you needed? Well, one night, I went to see your doctor, and the next day, he performed the surgery completely free of charge." Henry's eyes softened. "You did that to save my life. Of course I can forgive you. But the third time?" Martha took a deep breath. "Do you remember when you ran for president of your golf club and you were 73 votes short?" A woman was at her hairdresser's, getting styled before a big trip to Rome with her husband. She casually mentioned the vacation. "Rome?" the hairdresser scoffed. "Why on earth would you go there? It's filthy, overcrowded, and full of pickpockets. So, how are you getting there?" "We're flying United," the woman replied. "Got a great deal on tickets." "United?" The hairdresser rolled her eyes. "Those planes are ancient, the crew's cranky, and they're always late. Where are you staying?" "At a little place called the Taste Hotel, right by the Tiber River. Don't bother, it's a dump, and let me guess, you'll try to see the Pope?" "Yes, we're visiting the Vatican." The hairdresser snorted. "You and a million other tourists. You'll need binoculars to spot him." A month later, the woman returned for another appointment. "So," the hairdresser smirked, "how was that awful trip?" "It was amazing," the woman beamed. "United had a brand new jet, and the flight was overbooked, so they bumped us to first class. Champagne, gourmet meals, and a gorgeous 28-year-old steward who spoiled us the whole way." "And the Taste Hotel?" "They'd just finished a $5 million renovation. It was stunning. They were overbooked, so they upgraded us to the owner's suite, free of charge." Well, I'm sure you didn't see the Pope." "Actually, while touring the Vatican, a Swiss guard tapped my shoulder. He said the Pope liked to meet a few visitors and invited me into his private chamber. 5 minutes later, the Pope walked in and shook my hand." The hairdresser's jaw dropped. "No, what did he say?" The woman smiled sweetly. "He looked at me and said, 'Who messed up your hair?'" A man was fed up with dragging himself to work every day while his wife just stayed home. Convinced she had it easy, he prayed, "Lord, I work 8 hours a day while my wife relaxes at home. Let her know what I go through. Please, swap our bodies for a day." In his infinite wisdom, God granted the wish. The next morning, the man awoke as a woman. He jumped right into the easy life. Cooked breakfast, woke the kids, got them dressed, packed lunches, drove them to school, dropped off the dry cleaning, ran to the bank, bought groceries, hauled them home, put them away, paid bills, balanced the checkbook, cleaned the litter box, bathed the dog, made the beds, started laundry, vacuumed, dusted, mopped, and dashed back to school to pick up the kids, arguing with them all the way home. He set out milk and cookies, supervised homework, ironed clothes, then at 4:30 started peeling potatoes, washing salad greens, breading pork chops, and snapping beans for dinner. After supper, he cleaned the kitchen, loaded the dishwasher, folded laundry, bathed the kids, and tucked them into bed. At 9 p.m., utterly exhausted, he collapsed into bed, only to find he was still expected to perform in the bedroom. Somehow he got through it without complaint. The next morning, aching and worn out, he fell to his knees. "Lord, I was wrong. Staying home is harder than going to work. Please, change us back." God replied, "My son, I think you've learned your lesson. I'll gladly switch you back in 9 months. You got pregnant last night?"